Hey everyone, what is up? It's Balloon. Welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing on this fine Thursday? Girl, this whole drama with Trisha Paytas and Jeffree Star and Garrett Watts, Ryland Adams, Shane Dawson, it is all still kicking off. It's all still going on because people are still throwing shady jabs at each other here and there, and we're going to get into all of it in today's video. This one while I'm just getting ready. So let's talk about Trisha Paytas first of all, coming out on TikTok yesterday, shading Jeffree Star over the whole Louis Vuitton luggage video. She took to her TikTok, she talked about it, she got into the fact that Jeffree had shamed people for renting their houses on Ryland Adams' podcast, The Sip. So let's play that.
Yeah, where he just goes on a Louis Vuitton shopping spree, which is cool. He's like, I got canceled again. Once again, just that's his MO, that's his brand. I expect it from Jeffree. That's not even my issue. Like, Jeffree has like totally gone under my radar now. It's all about like how Shane and Ryland are actually two-faced and lying is coming. But in Jeffree's new description, he says that he was slandered because people say that he money shames, and he's saying he doesn't. He's considered that slanderous. Well, let's look at this clip from What Else But The Sip.
Monthly, yeah, it's expensive, but my mortgage is really low. Unlike a lot of YouTubers, actually paid for my house. Yeah.
So you don't want to believe me or the other people like stories about it. Like, he says it in his own words, as if it's like so horrible to be renting a house. Like, a lot of people can't even afford a roof over their head, and the fact that they just like laugh and giggle about it is absolutely disgusting. So there's no slander there. It's from the horse's mouth himself. Next. To me, that's like the most disgusting, like money shaming, like during this time right now. Like,
blush. Okay, so that TikTok, Trisha was coming for Jeffree, saying he didn't money shame anyone in his description box in his latest YouTube video, when of course it's been caught on camera, him money shaming people, caught on camera on Ryland's podcast, The Sip, coming for people renting their homes during a time, as Trish said, you know, we're in this pandemic, all of that. Not everybody can afford to get a mortgage and all of that stuff, you know. Not everyone is that financially well off. But the thing is, Jeffree particularly said, I own my home, unlike some other YouTubers. Of course, now this has caused a little bit of a stir because Garrett Watts has now come out in one of his YouTube videos and made the point that he rents his own home. So here's that clip.
Anyways, welcome to my new place. And by my new place, I mean the place that I'm renting from someone else who owns this home, because I'm not quite there yet. Sorry, my bank account isn't full of gold diamonds.
So for Jeffree to come out and say, I don't money shame anyone in his description box in his latest YouTube video, that is a bold-faced lie. And also, not only is that a lie, but we all know that Jeffree had a bit of a crush on Garrett Watts. If you remember back to the whole Shane Dawson Jeffree Star series, Jeffree was remarking how he wanted to fuck Garrett and all this kind of stuff, offering money for it, all this kind of really gross stuff. I mean, at the time, I just took that as Jeffree kind of joking around, you know. I didn't think that was anything serious, you know. I just thought, oh, that's just them being silly, being jokey. Jeffree and Shane having a back and forth about, oh yes, selling Garrett, this type of thing. I didn't look at that as anything nasty. But the comment about people renting their homes, that's shady, and not in a, you know, fun kind of way. That's just nasty. Just gonna powder. And then we move on to the Frenemies podcast this week. Now, I watched the podcast. I actually really enjoyed the Frenemies podcast this week. I like the chemistry between Ethan and Trisha, actually. This week, it was actually really enjoyable. I don't enjoy the weeks of it where they fight and stuff like that. But now that Trisha and Ethan are kind of on the same page, they're getting along. I'm actually really enjoying their chemistry together. I think the podcast is fun. You know, they do their silly trivia and all that kind of stuff in it. And I actually do really, really enjoy it. But Trisha did touch on the fact that Shane Dawson had been shit-talking her in voice memos behind her back and all that kind of stuff. She talked about it on Frenemies, as did Ethan. Let's roll that clip.
Voice memos from people over the years of Shane shit talking me, like his actual audio. I didn't put it out there because I thought it was kind of weird, but I recapped what he said. And he basically like heard from Shane's, this is the first time I heard it because like Peter Mon said that he called me a sociopath, which what? Like,
you're right. I saw that video.
Not everyone's a sociopath, Shane, just because you had a fake ass therapist on your series that was whatever. That got
sounds like he's a sociopath if anyone is.
Like and also he called me a pathological liar and a sociopath to Peter Mon because Peter Mon's like, oh yeah, Trisha said she wants to hang out. And he's like, well, she's a pathological liar. I was like, it had nothing to do. It's not like I said, oh, Shane's like this. And he had
also like nothing prompted him to talk shit behind you. He wasn't like, can I trust her? She's like, oh, I'm hanging out with her. He's like, oh, cool. I love her. She's one of my best friends. You'll have a good time. It's like, no, she's a pathological liar.
That was...
It's like, sorry?
And I hung out with Peter Mon after that, so clearly I wasn't a pathological liar because I did want to hang out with him. It was insane to me. Like, that to me was the scariest thing. Like, you expect it from Jeffree. Jeffree, once again, is going to get off the hook with this because he's a mean girl. He's known for that. That's his MO. I think he kind of likes it. Shane, however, is a little two-faced snake. Ryland is also a little two-faced snake. And I don't, honestly would rather be best friends with Jeffree than have to see them ever again.
Well, at least you know what to expect with Jeffree.
That's what I'm saying.
Because, like you said, he's just a douche. That's just his defining characteristic as a human being.
I get it. Hey, I mean, I get that. I respect it more. I should have known because everyone has these issues with him. I should have known.
But Shane, the so-called what is it?
Empath.
Yeah, the empath. This fucking cracks me up.
No one can you can't call yourself an empath. That's like saying I'm a good person. Like you can't just say that. You're obviously not if you have to say that you are. It's like people call themselves rich. Like if you have to call yourselves rich, you're not rich.
You're clearly not an empath by saying that. No. So anyway.
Honestly, don't care. Honestly, I'm so over it. Like, don't disable your comments. You're a fucking coward. Like.
Okay, so wait, let me give a timeline.
Could you imagine if we disabled comments on frenemies?
Oh, no.
Like, what's the point of the show
listen,
then?
I've been shit on. I've been through drama. I've been through the ringer. Disabling comments and likes is like the one thing you don't do because it's like.
Yeah, it so is.
It's like, dude, you are such a fuck. It's like, holy shit. You got to just own it, bruh.
Oh, God. Because the whole thing on his thing, too, like addressing it was that, like, I'm sorry, Trish can't express herself to us. Bitch, when have I ever had a problem expressing myself to anyone? I'm expressing myself right now like I did to you. You're a little weasel.
If anything, she overexpressed, dude.
This is tea. This, to me, there was a lot in that little clip, just that one little clip of Trisha there, where she said about Jeffree, she's kind of seeming to be moving on from shading Jeffree and now really going for Shane and Ryland. If you didn't see, if you're not caught up, last week in his podcast, The Sip with Lizzie Gordon, Ryland did talk a little bit about this whole situation with Trisha Paytas and about their friendship, about how their friendship meant more to him than the internet, all this kind of stuff. And he wished that Trisha had come to him and spoke to him privately rather than doing this publicly on the internet, everything like that. But Trisha is now just calling Jeffree a mean girl. She's expressing her feelings that she had spoken to Ryland, that she had told Ryland how she felt multiple times, yet Ryland said that about her last week on his podcast. And now we're moving on to this week on the podcast. This week on Ryland's podcast, The Sip, he said he's disabled the comments. So Trisha saying on Frenemies, oh, can you imagine disabling the comments on Frenemies and stuff like that? And Ethan then chiming in with, no, you don't do that. That was shade to Ryland because Ryland has now uploaded The Sip, the one where he fought with Lizzie Gordon, and he has said his comments are disabled because he can't take it, he can't take the heat, all this stuff. But they do have an Instagram for the podcast, The Sip. So he made some comment that was like, oh, if people really want to come and hunt us out and really want to be negative, then they can come and leave us a negative comment over there, which I thought was a bit of a stupid, backhanded kind of comment. If you don't want people to leave you negativity, why would you even say that? Why would you even say, oh, we've got a Instagram for the show, you can come and leave us a negative comment there? I thought that was just stupid. To me, it really just sounds like Ryland can't take the heat. To me, Ryland saying all that about disabling the comments and everything like that, that sounds a lot like Ryland just really can't take the heat, can't take it that people are now calling him a sugar baby, saying he's Shane Dawson's sugar baby, all this kind of stuff. He just is upset about that, I think. But I think Trisha and Ethan hit the nail on the head. I think they were right. You know, why should you deny the public to comment on your podcast and on your opinions when you're there discussing other people's lives, because let's face it, you know, on the SIP, that is what they do. They talk about celebrities, they talk about pop culture, all this kind of stuff, just like they do on Frenemies, but to disable comments so that the public can't have their say, I find that quite hypocritical, to be honest. Also, Ryland can't take it that he's being called out because he and Shane have chosen to side with Jeffree in this whole Trisha Paytas drama that's been going on. He really can't take it because now we know that Shane Dawson is the co-owner of Killer Merch, which of course is Jeffree Star's company. So now we know Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star have gone into business together. They're not gonna, you know, up and leave Jeffree. You know, they know what side their bread's buttered on financially. So it doesn't make financial sense for them to, you know, cut ties with Jeffree because they're in a business relationship.
Comments have been off on this podcast. Right. You might have noticed. Lizzie literally texted me and she was like, what happened? I was in the middle of my 10-hour comment session when all of a sudden they were abruptly turned off on me. And you know what? I just feel like this podcast has been such a source of joy and happiness for me. It's been so much fun. And like there was quite a bit of negativity going on in our comments. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want this to affect me and how I move forward. Yeah. I don't want the internet's opinion of me to taint who I believe I am as a person. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that has to sleep with myself, live with myself. And I feel like I'm ever evolving into a person that I like, I think is a good person. And I think regardless of anything that's going on, you and I, like, just reading comments about ourselves on the internet,
it's probably not healthy.
It's not healthy, even when it's all praise.
I mean, I started questioning my own sexuality based on the comment section. So, like, I guess, like, that is probably healthy that you turned it off because I won't turn myself off.
And it's not a forever thing. I just think for now, it's the healthiest thing to do. I think like taking a step back every once in a while from social media is just a healthy thing to do. I deleted like all the apps from my phone, like not my actual accounts. I'm not crazy, but I did, I did delete them from my phone for the time being because I think it's good to just like ground yourself every once in a while and like
snap back to reality.
Yeah, your own reality.
Here's the problem. What reality are we fucking in?
Well, I'm in the one that feel like I'm living in right now, not like some alter universe, you know?
That's really grounded.
And I think more than ever in the past year, I just don't think it's healthy to like be in our, like even on a great week, be in our comment section and have that affect our next show. I think I can be more unapologetically myself, not reading comments about us.
I totally agree with that. I also think like when they're super positive, you then get like addicted to the serotonin of like a praising thing, and then healthy. You're just chasing it, and it's like, girl, what happened to light from within?
That is all so fucking hypocritical. Ryland and Lizzie sit there on that podcast giving their opinion on other people who are public figures. The moment it's turned around on them, oh no, it's not healthy. Dude, that is such a load of bullshit. Ryland sits there talking about celebrities. This week they were talking about Cardi B, all this kind of stuff. He's talked about loads of other celebrities, public figures on that show. But the moment it is turned on him and he becomes the focus of drama, oh no, it's unhealthy. Oh, we've got to step back from social media. Give me fucking strength. Really? If you're like Ryland and you've got a podcast or a show where you're sat there talking about public figures, you can't complain when it comes back on you. You just can't. That is hypocritical. Anyway, guys, do be sure to let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. My comments are open. I'm not turning my comments off. Let me know what you think about all of this. Do you think that Trisha is right to shade Ryland for turning off his comments and all that stuff? Do you think it's funny that Garrett Watts is now coming out over renting his house and Jeffree Star being shady about that? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below. My comments are always open for you. Love you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. So I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.